Today is episode 20 of the full paycheck investing series. I'll be investing another weekly paycheck of 2.29k. It's slightly higher this week as it turns out I have a $700 remote stipend from work to just fully outfit like my work from home office. And that gets paid monthly over the next year. So this is kind of like the first monthly payment. I'll also be paying a few bills. I have a credit card bill today, an internet bill, and all that will be paid straight from my brokerage account with a margin loan against my growing assets that will keep growing today because of the full paycheck investing. Step by step, you'll see practically and transparently how I live out of my Robinhood brokerage account and invest 100% of my income to build monthly cash flow. That'll eventually exceed my monthly expenses. I'm truly paying myself first in the very real sense of the word. As always, you'll get radical transparency on my channel. I share my real numbers and you see exactly how much skin I have in the game for any given position. You can follow along my portfolio by checking the free Snowball portfolio link in the description below. And if you appreciate all the transparency, make sure to give a like and subscribe. As usual, just a quick disclaimer, this video is for entertainment and education purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor and nothing here should be taken as financial, investment, or tax advice. I'm simply sharing my personal investing journey and documenting my own results. Make sure you read the full disclaimer properly. As far as the weekly flow, this is kind of the new chart that I'm using, right? But I won't go through it today just because this is exactly what I'll be doing live in the video. So you'll kind of just see this in practice and see it for yourself. So if you want to pause and take a look and see what's going to happen, feel free, but let's just get started. So if we pop over to Robinhood, so we'll see it's a little bit of a red day today. So it's mostly green this week, but today it's red. We're on May 7th today, by the way. So down 0.47% or $996. First things first, let's just get the paycheck transferred. So you can kind of see it's my full live portfolio here. I have my paycheck that got deposited into my secondary brokerage account here. So the $2,293.25. So let's just get that transferred over. Do deposit funds. So 2293.25 from the cash account to my individual. So you'll see here that I have 42.5k of cash available for withdrawal. That'll increase by basically this amount. And then I'll get double that amount in buying power essentially. Great. So you can kind of see that the buying power went up by double that amount. The cash went up by exactly that amount. Margin gets paid down a little bit. Margin total increases. We're going to bring this back up given that we're going to invest the full paycheck, right? So first things first, roughly 10% that I'll be doing into growth. So if we pop over to Snowball here to kind of check on how the portfolio is doing. So if we check year to date, or here is still lagging behind on the growth side of things. Everything else is pretty much green. So I think again, this week I'll just invest into ore. This again is kind of just lagging behind compared to the others just because I ended up investing at the top and then also this got hit pretty hard by the Iran war. Just because it has more international exposure and more Japan exposure, which is a lot more affected by the Strait of Hormuz. We'll throw some into ore here. Let's do that. So we'll do, so since I did 2,293, let's do the 293. So not quite 10%, a little bit more, but just so it's a nice round number for the high yield side of things. I like my round numbers. So let's do ore. Make sure this is in dollars. Don't want to make that same mistake. Okay, buy. Great. And then for the high yield side of things, so not like roughly 90% left of the paycheck. So $2,000. So let's just take a look at what's down here. So BTCI is obviously down on the year. Pretty much all that's down right now. If we check on the week, we can kind of see that like MLPI is down a little bit. And yeah, everything else is like pretty much green this month too. Like even MLPI is barely in the red here. So definitely going to be MLPI. Wondering if I should do a little bit of Bitcoin. Still down on the year. Yeah, maybe let's just do that. So I think I'll split it in half. I'll do like half MLPI and half in Bitcoin here. Just keep buying the dip. So like if we check both of these, right? MLPI. So I've been kind of buying in the channel here where it was at its lowest, which was nice. So now it's kind of getting back to that point. And then Bitcoin here has just been kind of in like this channel, but slowly climbing out of it. So yeah, let's maybe just like split the difference, do half in MLPI and then half in BTCI. So let's do MLPI. So MLPI, yeah, I just want to keep investing because this is getting hit because they're thinking that the conflict's going to resolve. I'm not so sure about that, but this is getting hit hard because the oil prices are coming down. But if the conflict escalates again, this is going to kind of go back into the green pretty heavily, I'd think. So yeah, I'll just kind of keep investing on it while it's in its lows here. So let's do $1,000 here. And then let's do $1,000 into BTCI. Great. So that's the full paycheck invested. So the full $2,293. Next step from here is to pay some bills. So you'll see that the margin used kind of went back up to what it was before. Margin total stayed the same because the money stayed in the portfolio. And then my cash bill for withdrawal here just went down by half the amount that I invested, essentially. So half the 2,293. As far as bills, if we pop over to my spreadsheet here, we'll just pop over here. So today we're paying things that are due by the 9th. So there's two. There's my Fidelity cashback card here and my internet. So let's just get that transferred over. I'll basically transfer it over to my secondary brokerage account here, which I named the cash account just because the spending account's actually being phased out. I got the email this week that in June it's going to be gone. So this is kind of my intermediary. If I don't get access to Robinhood banking before then, I would hope that they would roll it out before they phase out the spending account like that, but we'll see. Let's just get that money transferred over. 68923 from individual to cash. Great. And then my internet bill, which is $124.97. So this is my internet and home security bundled together from Xfinity. Let's get that transferred over as well. So $124.97. Great. So that's all transferred over. So yeah, what'll happen after the video is that I'll just kind of go to those sites and draw the bills here. But we can kind of get those considered paid for the week. And then we're good. That's the full bills paid here. So if we look at all the numbers here, we'll get the spreadsheet updated now. So we bought ORR, BTCI, and MLPI. Where are you, MLPI? There you are. Okay, so let's just get these numbers updated on the spreadsheet here. So let's do margin total, margin used. So that went up, right? Because I invested full paycheck. This will go up as well because I paid bills. And then let's add the assets that I bought. So ORR should be a nice little average down here. And then number of shares. And then BTCI will be a nice little average down as well. Really nice one, actually. And cool. And then MLPI should be about the same since it was just slightly in the green here. Great. So that's fully updated. So where we are at with those numbers, we're at the gross value. We're at 387K essentially. I have margin used of 174K, and then now my net value is sitting at 213K. So yeah, getting pretty close to 400,000, which is going to be a pretty cool milestone. We'll see if I can kind of hit that by the end of the month, depending on if there's a little downturn or not. But yeah, getting really close. Yeah, all getting very in the green in the total return and unrealized side column, right? Like sitting at 181.3K of total profit and up 38.2%. So this is total returns, like realized gains, dividends, and margin. And on the realized gains side, plus unrealized gains, yeah, sitting at 14.6K positive and then or 6.87%. As far as the margin health, sitting at, yeah, you see all those same numbers here. My margin maintenance is sitting at 96.7K. So my portfolio would have to drop to this amount to basically hit a margin call. So if you do the difference between this and the net portfolio value, my margin buffer is sitting at 116.2K. So the portfolio would have to drop by this amount to hit that margin call, right? So if we take this and divide it by the net value, you kind of get this number here, the 54.58%. And that's the margin buffer on the net portfolio value. So this makes you feel safer than you are. Like I always say, I don't like going off this number. What I like going off of is the margin buffer on the gross portfolio value. So even if the gross portfolio value were to fall by this amount, so the 387K, that would be the equivalent of a 54.57% drop on the net portfolio value if you take into account like the margin amplification, right? So right now I'm insulated by like 30.03% on the gross portfolio value from a margin call. So this is getting healthier and healthier, which is nice to see. And my buying power, so if you take your margin total and minus out your margin used, that's your buying power here. So I have 86.7K. Just want to keep this growing ideally. And then as far as the cash available for withdrawal, I have 43.3K. So that's half the amount of the buying power roughly. So these numbers are staying fairly healthy. My leverage multiple is sitting at 1.82 right now. So a little less than 2, which is nice. And as far as the monthly dividend, yeah, it's sitting at roughly 4,944 monthly that I'm making from the portfolio. If we pop over the calculator just to kind of see how much we added in monthly income today, we can kind of take a quick look here. So we have 1,000 times MLPI here, 14.48. So divide that by 12 to get the monthly amount. And then 1,000 times 0.13 divided by 12 plus 12.06. So roughly $41 that I added in monthly income today with those buys, which is pretty cool. And yeah, and that's the full flow there. If you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is to check out the description below any video. You'll see all the links here. You have my free Snowball portfolio link. You have my Blossom social profile. You have my free portfolio spreadsheet tracker. You have the free Discord server, Patreon if you want to support there. And yeah, also the backup channel. So yeah, you can always check that if ever you need to. So yeah, if you appreciate all the transparency, drop a like and subscribe. And I'll catch you in the next video where I'll be dropping my portfolio update on Sunday this weekend. Peace.